Good afternoon, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered.
Ready, win. Ready, win.
Good afternoon, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. The term limit lawsuit, division among the people. Let's clear some things up, folks. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, text messages, and I want to be very clear. You know me. Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I want to be very clear. All right. I did a podcast last night on the term limit lawsuit. I also did another podcast this morning on it. And, I got various calls. Today, I received several calls, text messages regarding the podcast from last night and this morning. Some were to tell me it was a great show. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And or to say that they agree with me. Some were upset that they were left out, and they called me to tell me this and about the way the lawsuit came about. Others called to say they agree with some of the things that I was saying and understand my frustration, but that the goal is to prevent Mike Spano from running again. So however it's done is a good thing. But is it? A group of residents who opposed the term limit extension were in a group chat that became, in the words of the city council president, messy. For some reason, some members of this group chat did not want certain people involved. Some of these individuals obviously have an agenda. Have an agenda outside of doing what is best in the best interest of the people, in my opinion. The reasons given to exclude people range from they weren't registered to vote, they had an active investigation, and I must say both investigations that they mentioned came about as a result of fighting corruption. Yes, yet some had issues with it. They didn't. Another reason was they didn't want it to be political. Then why have Ron Mattin involved? Why have Joe Pinion involved? Why have Keisha Skipper, the vice president of the Yonkers NAACP, as well as Frank Coleman, the president of the NAACP, involved, as opposed to a lot of other residents who were willing to put their names, who had no political connections, were not part of, an NAACP type of organization, or were candidates for office who had lost. I hear that the Working Families Party left this meeting that they had. They had a meeting also about it just before they filed a lawsuit early because they did not want to be a part of it. Deanna Sanchez, who was called a beggar, was intentionally excluded. Apparently, she is undocumented and unable to vote, although she has been affected and will be affected just the same as anyone else living here in the city of Yonkers. So why didn't the Yonkers NAACP file its own lawsuit separately? Why did they exclude Deanna Sanchez when I hear they were going to put out a press release or a statement condemning the actions of Majority Leader Tasha Diaz the night of the meeting for calling the Yonkers Sanctuary Movement beggars? Yonkers is 43% Latino, and a lot of Latinos oppose the term limit extension, yet no Latinos are represented in the lawsuit. Where is their voice? Why were people excluded simply because a few did not want them? Why would Ron Mattin be included, right? Will it not look like he's just upset about the possibility of not becoming the councilman for the 5th district, right? In my opinion, that is why he wrote that letter last year regarding Mike Cater. So is he upset now because this term extension means that Mike Breen will be able to run again for the 5th district, a district he was hoping to represent? He's also being sued by Mike Cater, let's not forget, for his role in the political hit job against Mike Cater last year. And so how will that affect the lawsuit and him being involved in that lawsuit? He stands to benefit from the lawsuit politically. If they go through with it and it's successful, then he gains. Mike Breen will not be able to run again, possibly. Same as Joe Pinion, who I hear wants to run for mayor. After losing to Schumer for Congress, it seems like he may be looking for another opportunity. And why do I bring this up? Because some people say, well, Freddie, why are you upset? It's all about getting Mike Spano out. We have the same goal. I bring it up because I can already see the infighting and the division that's going to eventually cause problems for the elections next year. Our goal is not simply about Mike Spano, getting him out of office, but what's in the best interest of the people. This term extension legislation that was passed is not in the best interest of the people. It's not about Mike Spano. And a good point that they brought up is, why wasn't this introduced last year? Why wasn't there a lawsuit filed? And I hear and I get what Michael Sussman said. No one contacted him, but why not? Why was he not contacted last year? And I want to show a video again of that I didn't get to show because I want to, make very clear. Why are we in this situation to begin with? Had we had Mike Cater still in office, we wouldn't be here.
Got this, girl. That's right. Right? So I have to thank her. I have to thank Chris. Keisha Skipper couldn't be here tonight, but she's also someone that has been very instrumental, a listening ear whenever I called her. And I know if she was feeling better, she would be here as well. So Keisha, we go way back to our boys were in kindergarten together. So thank you, Keisha, if you're listening, if you can hear me. And again, everyone, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Each and every one of you played.
You're very welcome, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. So, it was identity politics that were being played last year that got us into this predicament. People wanted to vote for Lakeisha Collins Bellamy simply because she was a Black woman and she would become the first Black woman city council president. But now here we are. The same individual is the one who introduced the legislation for this term extension all alone, and it passed. And so now we have individuals who are opposing it now and on this lawsuit out of nowhere, right? Because when this initially started, it was a certain group of individuals, and then it kind of ballooned, which is fine. But who are individuals here to dictate who should be and should not be on this if there are so many people who oppose it? This is about the people. It's not about certain individuals having the opportunity to run for office or to run their candidate for office. And I want to make sure that we are doing it for the right reason, because then they're going to be easily, saying, hey, well, that's the only reason they want to do this is because so-and-so wants to run for office. So-and-so is bitter. So-and-so is upset. And now it's going to take away from why we truly need to be doing this. And so what I said is there should have been a class action lawsuit. This should have been announced and say, okay, we're going to be doing this lawsuit. We want people to sign up for the lawsuit because there are many people who are upset that they were not included. They thought they would be included. They are just as angry. They want to see this, term extension thing, go to a referendum. Ron Matten and John Murtaugh talked very early on about putting out a referendum or calling for one, yet they never did. And now here they are suing. So it's not cool, and it doesn't look real to me. It's not genuine. And so much, success, much power to you guys. But again, I want folks here in the city of Yonkers to remember, we still have to come out and vote next year. Let's not forget that. Let's not, forget the fact that we have to prepare for these elections, 1, 3, 5, and the mayor's seat. This is not just about this one lawsuit. If it's successful, if it's not, we still have to vote. And we still have to make sure that we vote for candidates who are truly here to make a difference, to really benefit the people of the city of Yonkers, and not for their own agenda. I'm going to read this from a News 12 article. Yonkers residents sued to overturn term limit extension. A dozen Yonkers residents are suing Mayor Mike Spano and the entire city council to overturn legislation that extends the number of years each can serve from 12 to 16. The group includes several prominent community members, including former city council member Joan Gronowski. And it's nothing against Joan Gronowski at all. Joan, in fact, is one of the genuine individuals there. And so is Carolyn. I have nothing against them. But, there's other individuals that just came out of nowhere and kind of took over this. They kind of deboted, as we say, right? They hijacked this for their own agenda. Former Republican candidate for U.S. Senate Joe Pinion, former Republican City Council President candidate Ron Matter, is actually Ron Matten, Yonkers NAACP Vice Chair Keisha Skipper, and Messiah Baptist Church Senior Pastor, also Yonkers NAACP President Frank Coleman, who I hear his wife will be running for mayor. Margaret Coleman. We are sending a direct message, not to any individual, but to local government, that we will not stand idly by while our civil and human rights are violated. But you have been. You have been. Right? You guys have been. But now all of a sudden, here's an opportunity that someone started with Michael Sussman. Boom, let's jump on it. Why did you guys do that from get-go? Why did you guys wait for a citizen that doesn't have the same resources and connections as a Yonkers NAACP does? The lawsuit argues that the council votes needs to be voided because it violates the city's charter ethics code. The law extending term limits for elective office in the city of Yonkers, which was supported by a member of the city council and signed into law by the mayor, person standing to directly benefit, reads part of the lawsuit. So you're talking about Lakeisha Collins Bellamy introducing it. The mayor signed it. Republican council member Mike Breen and Mayor Mike Spano are both in their third terms and could both run for a fourth term. Again, Mike Breen represents the 5th district, where Ron Matten was hoping to become the representative there. The right to vote, where people die for that. To take that away after all that we have done, had to sacrifice, have an opportunity to vote is shameful, said Frank Coleman, one of the plaintiffs, who also mentioned that he was retaliated on, and he spoke out and people targeted him. Right. So, this is something that we need to speak about. The NAACP should put out a press release about that, about political retribution. Many people have experienced it, not just Jamal Bowman. The lawsuit cites the charter's ethics standards C1A6. A city officer or employee shall not use his or her official position or office to take or fail to take any action in a manner which he or she has reasons to know may result in a financial benefit for himself or herself. Well, there's a lot of things that we could be talking about, not just this, that should have been brought up a long time ago. A lot of quid pro quo. Why we ain't talking about Empire Strategic Planning and how AMS is one of their clients. And that's probably why, in my opinion, that's why the housing ordinance did not pass. Who stands to benefit financially? The chair of the real estate committee, the mayor and his family, but know nothing about that. Freddie spoke about it, though. Look what's been happening to him. By enacting a change which allows two currently sitting council members to seek a fourth term and the mayor to do the same, the defendants violated the term of the city charter, reads part of the lawsuit. The lawsuit is asking a judge to invalidate the vote and mandate a referendum question on term limits before the voters next year. On an episode of Power and Politics on December 4th, 2022, which came after the vote, but before the lawsuit, News 12 asked Democratic Yonkers City Council Majority Leader Tasha Diaz and Republican City Council Member Anthony Moranti whether there was an optical issue with council members voting on legislation that could ultimately benefit themselves down the line. We are elected sometimes to be able to take the executive decision when it comes down to certain policies, said Diaz. And what she's basically saying is that, well, we were voted in. You guys voted for us to make these decisions, and that's what we're doing. Diaz voted in favor of extending term limits. Of course she did, while Moranti voted no. Moranti will also now be running for mayor. The majority leader declined to comment on the ongoing lawsuit. There is no merit to the filing. The Yonkers term limits were properly amended by local law. No mandatory referendum was required, wrote Matt Gallagher, the Yonkers Corporation Counsel, in response to our request for comment on the litigation. The plaintiffs and their attorney, Michael Sussman, who successfully won the desegregation case against the city in the 1980s, are scheduled to speak further about the lawsuit outside City Hall at noon. And so I got an anonymous email that said that, Keisha Skipper and the Coleman took over the news press conference. And so this is what I mean. This was brought on by, citizens, residents, but now it's being hijacked. Why? And why didn't you guys bring up a second lawsuit? Let the people do their lawsuit. The Yonkers NAACP could have did their own lawsuit. That would be 2 lawsuits, right? Because I'm in agreement with the term limit thing needing to be stopped. I don't agree with the way that it went about it. I don't. But I don't agree about the way this is coming about. and how individuals are trying to hijack it for their own personal agendas. There's a lot wrong with the individuals who are on there. They also have reason to want to see this, not go through, because they have a benefit also. And so will that tarnish this lawsuit? So again, this is not about Joan Gronowski. It's not about Carolyn specifically, and it's just about the way that it went about. A lot of people were left out. A lot of people were upset. I don't see any Latino representation. 43% of the city is Latino. The Black population is dwindling. They're being kicked out at the highest rate. And so why isn't no one talking about that? Right. So, I don't want to hear, some people say, oh, Freddie, it's just about, however we want to go about it, as long as we, get the mayor out. And it's not about Spano to me. It's about doing the right thing and what's right for the people of the city of Yonkers. Some people are making this personal about Spano. Other people are making this about their agenda to get their candidates or themselves elected. And they're forgetting again about the people, just like those who are in office now. And so that is why I am talking about it. That is why I am mentioning it. Not because I'm against it, but I don't like the way that it's going about, that they're doing this or they're going about it, excluding people. Why? Why? We're supposed to be coming together. We're supposed to be unified, a united front. And so this exclusion and saying that person can't be in it, that person, only this person, it's really taken away from it. It's tarnishing this, and I'm going to speak about it. And I don't care if some people have a problem with it, and I know some people may not like my approach sometimes, but that's who I am. And I just keep it honest, right? I keep it real and I keep it honest. I'm not going to lie to people. I don't like the fact that they mentioned my CPS case, like if that was something I did wrong when I got that because I was speaking out. I don't like the fact that they notified me about this 3 days after other people were notified. So it's an intentional, exclusion of people. And that's not okay. And I want to know why. Why are you excluding people? And where did all of a sudden these people who are not making any noise, are not out there risking anything, not putting themselves, their family, their businesses on the line, all of a sudden are part of this, while leaving out people that have actually been targeted? And not no nail in the tire, so that's not okay with me. That's not okay. So I want the people of Yonkers to understand that there are going to be people out there that are going to have agendas, and we have to make sure that we see through this. We still have to prepare for the vote. We have to come out and vote, and we have to make sure that we vote for individuals that truly want to see a change, because a lot of individuals have been quiet. All of a sudden now they see an opportunity and they want to start talking or want to file lawsuits. But there's a lot going on in Yonkers besides just these elections, just this term limit extension stuff that needs to be addressed. Yet I don't hear nothing. All right. So it looks like this is just basically political. And I'm not cool with that. And by the way, before I get up out of here, the voters still get to vote is pure deception. Incumbents have enormous advantages in elections with exact reasons for the term limit exists. So if Spano wants a fourth term, they must go through 2 votes, one for permission to exploit those advantages in running for a fourth term, and one to actually win it. That they don't like that. Yeah, I agree with you. And I've said that, that's not a good excuse that we can still vote for them. We still have that, because at the end of the day, like you said, the incumbent has an advantage, especially someone like Spano. He has name recognition, right? So people who may not even be, they just go, oh, Spano, boom, and just vote Spano. He has built relationships. He has a lot of money, already that he's raised. So he has a huge advantage over anyone wanting to run against him. So, yeah, that's not, a legitimate excuse. I agree with you there, Anthony. And again, I agree with this whole lawsuit and trying to stop this term extension. I just think that, the way people are going about it is not okay. You're excluding people. You're showing that you have an agenda. Some of you guys are kind of fake with it, because you should have been said something before. Ron Madden should have said something about the referendum. You told me about this maybe a year ago, maybe. Right? Or at least by the beginning of the year, you were mentioning this referendum stuff, did nothing about it. Now you guys want to, do this lawsuit and then exclude other people. It's not about the money. Don't make it seem like it's about the money. Okay. because, you know, I have no problem paying. I have no problem writing a check. No one asked me for money, right? And it's not like only one person paid. A lot of people are putting in this, even people that are not in the lawsuit, right? Because people don't, you know, people out there oppose this. A lot of people oppose it. But hey, a lot of people, this is bipartisan. This is not about politics. This is not about excluding this person or that person. You know, it's not. Everyone should have been involved. You need to show that everyone, like 95% of the city, are opposing this. And we wanted to make that point, not look like it's only a certain group of individuals, the same group of individuals, right, that have a little beef or rift or whatever. And it's going to look like it's just a group of bitter people or people looking for an opportunity. And I'm not saying that that's what it's all about. I'm just saying that that's how it's going to look by excluding so many more people, right? And again, I want my Latinos represented, right? Why were they excluded? I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. I just wanted to come on and clarify that and clarify it, because people are trying to say, oh, Freddie Vasquez, there's the no. The way you guys went about it was very disrespectful. I spoke to some of you already about it. I had conversations, so you already knew what the deal was. I don't like the fact that, you know, some people try to say my CPS case thing, and then I speak to them again, and they try to say that they never said that. Now, I don't like blatant lying, and anyone that's out here blatant lying, I can't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be down with you, because then it makes me question a lot of things about you. And again, some of you created the problem. Some of you were part of this, creating the problem. Remember, you supported this. You played the identity politics. You were hoping for some perks and benefits, and it didn't go your way, because I know certain individuals were upset once Lakeisha Collins Bellamy won. She didn't do what they thought that she was going to do for them, and now they're upset. So, you know, we know what the deal is. And by the way, in regards to the Vinny Spano text messages, let me be very, very, very clear why I released those text messages. One, because that was my plan to begin with. Right? Not to release the text messages, but to, you know, get information and expose the corruption that's going on. Two, the guy was involved, according to sources, he was allegedly involved in the CPS and the attack of my business. And in fact, the individual that gave me this information, actually, I got two individuals, but both the individuals, but one of them was very, very close. I didn't release any information, any text messages that he sent me or anything at all on him, because he has genuine, you know, intentions. So if you're going to text me and you're going to have, you know, and your reason for texting me is to try to set me up in some kind of way, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to put you on blast. Damn right. But I'm not going to put everyone's text message, even if I get upset with you. I didn't put Anthony DiMaggio's text messages when he and I got upset at each other, right? I didn't put any text messages of him out there, because he wasn't trying to take me down. He wasn't trying to call CPS on me. So if you do that, damn right. So don't text me. Don't send me messages if your intentions are to set me up and do something to hurt me or my family and my business, because I will expose you. Bottom line. But I'm not going to just put anyone's text messages, even if I get upset about them over something, that they get upset about me, whatever. Okay, the point is that they tried to take me down. I have the information. I have people who've given me information. I have not put their text messages or their messages out because they have good intentions. I don't plan on doing that with anyone who has good intentions, as long as they're not looking to hurt me. And if you are, then just don't even text me, because I will expose you. Bottom line. Bottom line. So I make no bones about that. So again, that's why I did that with Vinny Spano. Plus, I wanted to show people in Yonkers what this going on here. I wanted to show other people in Yonkers who was giving me information on them, their buddy, their friend, who they thought that had their back. Look at Lakeisha Collins Bellamy saying, Vinny, I got to thank Vinny. Thank you to the city clerk's office for being there for me, you know, working alongside me. Since when does the city clerk's office work alongside candidates? But I guess Vinny Spano and the city clerk's office helped Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. And then he sends me a text saying the CCP, the city council president's position, is a blowjob position and a waste of taxpayer money. So I wanted her to see exactly who are the people around her that she is, you know, supporting and working with to hurt other people here in the city of Yonkers. Right? So I want to show that. Those are your boys, those are your people, but look what they think of you. Look what they think about you. And so that's why I put those text messages out there. It's not because I'm going to put people's text messages just because I have an issue with them, because I have an issue with certain people, and I'm not going to put their text messages out there. I'm not going to put certain person's text messages that I just had a conversation with last week who was lying to me. But I'm not going to put that out there because they weren't trying to take me down. They just were lying or whatever, right? So again, if you have information to send, do not be concerned that I'm going to put it out there, unless, of course, you're trying to take me down, you're trying to destroy me, you're trying to hurt me or set me up, in which case, don't even send me anything, because I'm going to blow you up if I find out that's what you're doing. But if you're truly here to give information, to expose the corruption, to create change, and have no other agenda, then you are safe. And just email me anonymously anyway, because I don't know if you email me anonymously, I don't know who you are, so it doesn't matter. But I will not show it. I will not, and I can promise you that. But Vinny Spano knows what he did. He knows what he did. And for that, I have no respect for him. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Just keeping it honest, keeping it real. And folks, listen, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be really, being very vocal, when it comes to the elections and politics and all that. I'm here for the people. I'm truly here to see the people win. I'm not here for an agenda, not here for a certain candidate, not here for Mike Cater, not here for anyone. I'm here for the people. And if you are here for the people, then make sure that you go about things the right way. Right? Otherwise, I'm going to expose you. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of the day. I hope you got some clarity on that.
Freddie.
This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Transparency lives here. Unbiased, untainted, unfiltered. I am here for the people. And I'm going to keep it honest. And I don't like the way people were excluded. I don't like the way certain people are being treated. Deanna Sanchez was called a beggar. My family and I were attacked. I got a CPS case. My business was hurt. Yet you guys want to exclude people like us for people like Ron Mattin, who helped that whole situation by writing that letter. He can end it all by saying, hey, these people wanted me to write this letter so we can set up Mike Cater, right? So forget the lawsuit, just come out and say that. And who supported Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy in the background, who was very instrumental. That's what happens when you play identity politics and you don't vote for the right reasons. I'm Freddie Vasquez, keeping them honest, always.
Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins. Fatality.
Folks, don't forget, make sure you come out and vote next year. It's very important. It doesn't matter what happens with this lawsuit. We still have to come out and vote. And we have to make sure we come out and vote for individuals that truly are genuine, that truly are capable. We don't want to get into the same mess we see now.
Freddie wins.
It's already happening.
Fatality.
Look at it.
Freddie wins.
They say that the Spanos like to see this, that this is what the Spanos want to see. Well, you should have went about it a different way. Should have went about it the right way.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
People want attention. They want to hijack stuff. They got their agendas and all that. Nah, I'm going to call that out every single time.
Freddie.
You're going to screw it up for the people, ultimately.
Fatality.
The people need real representation, real capable individuals who can really create the change that's so needed in this city. If you've been here for 20 years, 30 years, whatever, 10 years, what makes you think something's going to happen now?
Freddie wins.
It's time for new individuals.
Fatality.
Clear the way for new individuals. Give them an opportunity. There's plenty of times where you guys could have said something and you stayed quiet.
Freddie wins.
Doesn't look genuine.
Fatality.
It doesn't look real. It doesn't look genuine. By the way, it takes a lot of money to run these elections. Remember that.
Freddie wins. Fatality.